All right, I am recording this video so I can remember everything about what's going on right now. I've been at the School of Music since I think July 8th. I had the field band gig before that, so the week or so that I spent at the school before that was mostly spent with me in a practice room just trying to get my chops up. So yeah, I've been in since July 8th. It is August 27th right now, and we just this last week completed the move into the old new building. It's pretty exciting. It's exciting to be in room B311. I've got animals everywhere. Get out of here. So I just thought I'd write this. I thought I'd record this so I can remember every little detail because I want to remember the sort of monumental task that's ahead of me. I have students coming in on September 8th, which I think is 12 days away. I got internet access yesterday. And keep in mind, we're still in boxes. I have 186 boxes. That's our total library, 186 boxes. Students have packets that they need on the 8th. Thankfully, I put most of the packets in their own little sequestered section. We have, I believe, 62 students coming in. Each student packet ranges from 10 items, which I think tuba is 8 or 10. Anywhere from that. The saxophone section has 26 items, and they have 8 students, so you do the math. I don't want to right now because I can't. So when I got students to turn in their texts a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, a lot of the text sets were incomplete. They said that they were not given full text sets, and I am, for the most part, inclined to agree with them. A lot of the texts were in disrepair, they were just kind of beat up, and because we had no way we had a way, but because it was not kept track what the condition of these packets were, all the individual texts inside of that, I'm kind of having to just build on what I have. So a lot of them are kind of broken and falling apart. Spines are breaking on books. CDs are lost or damaged. So that's what I have coming in. So I had yesterday, I got internet access, which means I can finally get into this CHARMS system, which is the system that we are using or that we have been using to catalog our library. CHARMS Office Assistant, I think is what it's called. And I think it's primarily used by band directors. I don't know for sure. I know the Navy librarian does not use it. He uses Library World. So my goal, number one, is to make sure, number one, that all the students get full text sets, that they are not running with a half deck of, things that aren't complete. They should be given the materials that they are supposed to be given, right? We can all agree with that. That was an undertaking in its own because when I'm getting incomplete sets, that means I have to go dig through those 180 boxes, which despite the fact that I've meticulously marked, we have to keep our footprint in the new library, since we don't have shelves yet, very small so we can get shelves in. So I've got 180 books in about like a 10-foot by 10-foot section, stacked 5 high. So if I need a saxophone book, if something's missing, then I have to go to my little map where I have where everything is, and I find that it's, 2 from the bottom and a 5 stack thing in the very center. So it means I've got to move all these boxes out. It's a real pain in the butt. But, so yeah, first I have to make sure all the sets are together. I have to replace the broken spines and stuff like that. So that means a lot of the spines are plastic. We have this wonderful binding equipment, but it does mean that I have to take everything out. I oftentimes have to reinforce corners with tape, or if it's completely damaged with cardboard and then tape, then I have to punch the holes again and then meticulously feed it through this machine so I can load it back up and get the book in working order so the students have at least something that holds together, for Christ's sakes. So that's just trying to get good-looking books, or at least books that work. Then it also comes down to how I need to have these cataloged, at least I need to have these in the CHARMS library so I can scan them out to students, right? That's what you're supposed to do as a librarian. You're supposed to boop, you know, like you're going through the checkout line, boop. So that means that I have to get all these books in the system. Now, some of these books are already in the system, but I believe a cursory knowledge of, if you've ever been in a library, or used the Dewey Decimal System, or ever, what was it, a bibliography? If you've ever written a paper, is that at the end? God, I sound like a bibliography. If you have a book that's called a study on advanced horn methods, or a book that says the complete book of Arbon scales, you don't put the complete book of Arbon scales or an advanced horn method. I think that's common knowledge. However, in the system, I have about 40 to 50 titles that have the at the beginning. So that means I have to go in and delete all those titles. I mean, I could amend them, but that means if in the small chance that they were actually put on a book, it says the on it, that shrinks the amount of pertinent information that I can put on a label. I need the important part of the title there, not the word, not articles. So I have to delete everything, and CHARMS is very slow, so oofda, there's something right there trying to get that system to work, to go in and delete everything, which also means I have to, I have to put all these books in again. So that's task number 1. Deleting is, I guess, number 1. Number 2 is putting all this stuff in, getting all the information in, the publisher, the composer, or the author, the arranger, and loading that up into the CHARMS system, and all the copies, 8 copies of this, 8 copies of that. Then I have to print out all these labels that I'm going to affix to these copies. Currently, the CHARMS system doesn't seem to allow me to print multiple, different books, 8 of one book on one page and then 8 of the next book on the same darn page. I have to go to this drop-down menu, find all these books individually, and print them out on individual pieces of paper, which is wasteful to paper. I feel like a jerk, but what can you do? I can't keep messing around with it. I've searched forever, called the helpline. They couldn't give me any information. So a lot of my time is spent cutting too. Then I have to take the erroneous information that is already on the books. If there's typically some old system. There's 3 systems we've used that can be confusing. Some old barcodes, some, new barcodes that are bad, new barcodes that have things that are in all capital letters, or that the author's name goes first name, last name, or something. I mean, it's not consistent, and it's not consistent. So I have to take all that stuff off, which is why my fingernails are a disgusting mess, because I'm picking. So that's also something that I have to do. And then I've got to affix everything to the same spot. A lot of the last person's way he did it was putting some things in this corner and something on this corner on the same book, or on copies of the same book. I think it's best to stay uniform, to keep affixing things in the same spot just for the sake of continuity. So yeah, then I have to enter it into the system, and then I've got to print it, cut them all out into little pieces, cut little pieces of tape to affix it to the book. Also, there are CDs. A lot of the CDs, someone had the bad idea to put tape and labels, thick labels on the CD, which if you that thing gets stuck in your computer, you don't have a CD problem, you've got a computer problem. Nothing should be stuck. No big label should be stuck on CDs. Come on. So I've got to take that off. I had someone help me today, and just the whole CD came up, all the stuff that the data was written on, which means I have to go find the other CD, which is in one of 6 boxes that is marked CDs at the very bottom or in the middle or even at the top, it doesn't matter, of a 180 box set. So then there's that. So once I get everything on, yay, way to go. Then I have to check it out to each student. Now, we have 62 or 64 incoming students that come in on September 8th. I started yesterday with tubas, And today I got through saxophones, but I didn't even get through them. I haven't even gotten the labels on yet. I just printed them out. That is, and I work through lunch 8-hour days, just from, 7 to 3 or something like that. I can't remember. Oh, I hope that's 8 hours. Oh. But yeah, I work just pretty nonstop throughout the day. And with 2 full 16-hour days of working, I got 14 people done out of possibly 64. And they're coming in 12 days. The math doesn't add up. And that's not counting the fact that I apparently I've got to put together flip folders too. And none of the flip folders that I got back are usable. It's just not usable. They don't have they don't have all the music in it. Students are, not given the right materials or not given enough of the right materials. And then that wastes other instructors' time. All of the flip folders are broken or they're in a box that I cannot find right now. Despite my marking it, it's just I'm not able to find them. So I had to go get new flip folders, 70 or so new flip folders and windows. And now I've got to print out new music for all that. In addition, I went through the PDF of the music that we were using. You just print off from that. And the copies are in very, very bad shape. You can't read the titles. It's copies of copies of copies of copies. So I'm going to have to find whole new versions of American Soldier, Washington Post, things like that to put them into the set so at least the students are inspired to respect the music because we respect them enough to give them stuff that works. I don't know. Am I forgetting anything that I told you, Z?
I don't think so.
I just wanted to record this so I could remember a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a year from now, what I'm doing and the sort of work that I'm going through to get this done and to make sure that the students and the faculty are getting what they need and that their time and their effort is respected. So yeah, this might be silly. I just wanted to record this. So again, August 27th, I've got students coming in 12 days and I hope I get it done.